Okay, sorry for the interruption, guys. Okay, again, if you are going to answer this, you needed to know the difference between the word migration and immigration and emigration. These are some of the confusing words in English. All of them can be translated in Arabic the same, like this. And all of them related to movement. You move from a place to another. But what's the difference between them in English? How can we differentiate between them? In order to make the difference, we have to understand this. Okay, for migration, that's number one. Migration, it could be for people or animals or birds. They move from a place to another. All of them move from one place to another. Number two, it's seasonal. What is meant by seasonal? It's not permanent. Seasonal, it means, for example, for some time and then they come back home. They come back home. Yes. For example, like what? Every year, birds migrate to warmer areas in winter. What happens after winter finishes or ends? The birds go back to their home. So it's a seasonal. For example, for some workers, they do what? Some workers, let's say, from Upper Egypt, when they come and work in Cairo. After some time, they go back to their, yeah, they go back to their home. So again, migration could be used for people, animals, birds, and it's seasonal. It's not permanent. They just travel for some time and then they go back home. The verb is migrate. The noun is migration. The person, migrant. We can say a migrant worker, for example. Okay. Immigration. What about immigration? It's for people only, not animals and not birds. That's number one. It's permanent. Permanent. Immigrate to, you move to a new country. So the new country that you go to, that's the place that you are gonna live forever. So for example, my grandfather immigrated to the US in 1990. It means he lived in the US forever. He didn't come back to Egypt. So he immigrated to the US. So immigrate to, you say the new country that you went to. Okay? Immigrate, immigration, and immigrant. The person, we say that he's an immigrant. Okay? Okay, let's move on to the third one, emigration. It's for people as well, so it's the same like this, people only, and it's permanent, the same like this. So what's the difference? It's for people and permanent. The meaning is different. Here you say immigrate to the new country. Here, emigrate from. Emigrate from, it means the country that you leave. You leave what country? So my grandfather emigrated to Canada. From Canada in 1990, sorry. From Canada in 1990. Here, that's the country the old country that he was living in. And here, that's the new country that he is traveling to and he lives in now. Did you get it? So here, after this, the country that he lives, and here, the country that he goes to. That's the difference only, the difference in meaning. Emigration, and emigrant as well. Okay? That's the difference between them. It's just a confusing word, I know, but I just wanted to understand the difference between them. Okay? In order to practice, you see now, emigrate from your home country, immigrate to another country. Okay? I want you to try to answer these questions. It's homework. Yeah. I forgot to write it's homework. You are going to choose which verb or which noun or which word is correct. Okay? Okay, very good. Now, we are going to try to have a look at another difference. What's the difference between these words? Okay, let's see how can we make the difference between them. What's the difference between these words, among and between? If you remember, when we were at school, they used to tell us this difference. We can use between if we have two items. Items means people, animals, anything that you can say, two items. And among, it means three or more. So if you have two, you are gonna use between. If you have three or more, you are gonna use among. This rule is often, but not always, guys. We are going to see exception for this rule now. This rule is not forever, is not always, it's just often. Let's see how can we make it first an example. Okay, the money, the check was split between John and Frank. I have here John and Frank, two persons. That's why I used between. Between you and me, I have you and me. So that's why I used between. I think Mary should tell her mom the truth. It's an example. Among the books, because the books here means a lot of books, not just two books. I saw an old photo of my family. I walked among the trees, because the trees is more than two. It could be three or more. So that's the difference between them. Between, just like this. So you see the kid is between his father and mother, two persons. Versus among. Among, it means you are between a group or three or more. So again, sorry, just a minute. Yes. So between, something is in the middle of a space separating two things. Among, something is in the middle of a group of things. It's surrounded. The pencil, for example, fell between the books. Here, two books only. There are two books. The pencil fell among the books. Do you see the picture? I think it's clear now. Here, just two books, but here more than three. Okay? That's the first difference. So again, what's the difference between among? Between two items and among two items. And we said this is not an always rule, that's an often rule. We have another difference between among and between. Between is used with group noun or mass noun, not a specific. Among is used with specific nouns or individual relations. What do you mean by group noun? What do you mean by individuals or individual relations? What do you mean by this? Let's see the example to understand this more. Have a look at the examples. I want you to look at number 1 and number 2. I must choose universities in Canada. Here, the word universities. Did I say the name of the university? Is it specific which university? No. Universities here as a whole, as a group, not a specific one. So whenever you have a group noun, we use what? We use, yeah. Sorry, just a moment. Sorry, there was a mistake here. I corrected it. So sorry. Here, sorry, for the group noun, we use among, and for the individuals or for the specific one, we use between. Let's see the example one more time. So sorry for this mistake. I must choose universities in Canada. So here, universities is what? Did I say the name of the university? No. So universities as a group, okay? As a whole or as a group. So among, I must choose among universities in Canada. So university here is not specific. Let's see the difference between this and this. I must choose Ain Shams, Cairo, Helwan University. So here, what do you think? I said the name of the universities. So it's what? Individuals or specific ones. So I use between. So did you get the difference between them? So if it's like a group noun, it's not specific, we use among. If it's specific and we say the individual names or the individual relations, we use what? We use between in this case. So again, trade agreements exist countries. So I am speaking about countries as a group. So it's among. But if I said the name of the countries, there is a trade agreement between Mexico, Canada, and the US. I mentioned here the countries themselves, the individuals or the specific, I use what? I use between. Very good. So you understood this now? So again, among for the group noun, yes, and between for the what? For the individual or for the specific one. Okay? Okay, let's see the example. Between can be used for more than two things that are identified individually, okay? But among is used to show the connection or the relation between things that is not specific. Among the members, there was a disagreement among the members. Who are the members? We didn't say, okay? Number 3. What's number 3? What's the difference between them? Between. When you have the word difference, we use between. When we have the word distribute, we use among. Difference between something, distribute, it means, for example, if you have money and you give it to 3 or 4 persons, so you distribute my money over them. Okay, so let's see this. How can we make this? Here, don't forget, here it doesn't matter if they are 2 or 3. Okay, just look at this. There is a difference. If you see the word difference, we use what word? Between. If I have difference, I use between. So there is a difference between cats, dogs, and polar bears. Yes, but they are 3: cats, dogs, polar bears. It doesn't matter. I have just the word difference. The tips were distributed. So I'm gonna say between or among. No, among the waiters, because I have the word distribute. So Robin Hood stole the king's gold and distributed it among the poor villages, because I have the word distribute. Okay? Okay, very good. So in English, if you have the word difference, we use between. If you have the word distribute, we use among. That's the third difference between them. So again, quickly, I'm gonna revise it back. What's the difference between them? Number 1, if you have 2 items, we use between. Among for more. Number 2, if you have a group noun, not a specific, we use among. If you have individual or specific nouns, we use between. Number 3, if you have the word sorry, if you have the word difference, we use between. If you have the word among, we use what? We use distribute. Okay, very good. One more note. Sometimes the word among is written like amongst. Sometimes you can find it like amongst, but amongst is more formal and less common. Most of the time we use among, we don't use amongst. You just wanted to spend some time amongst friends, okay, or among friends, we say. Another note for between, we can use it to connect between 2 periods of time, between 9 and 4, between 1994 and 1997, okay? Or the interval between 2 points, for example, between 20 and 30 degrees, for example, okay? Scale on a map or something like this. Okay, let's try to answer this question as a homework and see if we understood this correctly or not. Okay, let's move on to something else. Eat when close. What's it when close? When can I use it? In order to answer you, we have to look at this picture, okay? How do you feel when this happens? How do you feel when this happens? Okay, I want you to look at this. For example, you are sitting in the cinema and you are watching a movie in the cinema, and you found that the person sitting next to you is speaking on the phone or is talking on the phone loudly, and he is laughing and making noise, so you can't follow the movie, you can't watch the movie. Okay, so how do you feel in this case? Again, how do you feel if you are at the cinema and a person next to you is speaking on the phone or is talking out loud and is laughing, so you can't follow? How do you feel in this case? Okay, how do you feel, for example, if you have an important audio you would like to listen to, or recording, or a question from your manager or anything, and you found your hand free like this, tangled like this? How would you feel in this case? So we can say, for example, it annoys me. It annoys me. Annoys, it means makes me angry. Annoys me, bothers me. When someone talks all the time during a movie. So that's the situation that annoys you. That is the situation that makes you angry. This is the situation that makes you nervous, for example. So when it annoys me, can I say in English, it annoys me and stop? Can I say it like this, for example? I'm gonna show you what do I mean by this. Can I say it like this? It annoys me. So if you said it annoys me, so I'm gonna tell you what annoys you. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me what makes you angry. You said it annoys me, it makes me angry. What? So in order to complete the meaning, we need when someone talks, we need the situation that makes you angry. So that's why it's called it when close. The meaning of it is when someone talks all the time during the movie. The situation itself, that's it. Each year refers to the situation. So it when it's related together, and it's always used to what? To describe situations all the time. We use it to describe situations. So I want you to have a look at these examples. It annoys me when someone talks all the time during a movie. So again, it annoys me when someone talks all the time during a movie. If I asked you what annoys you, so you are gonna tell me when someone talks all the time during a movie. So that's the situation that annoys you. So it here means what? Means the situation, the meaning of the situation. Okay. It drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. It makes me angry, very angry. When my earphones are completely tangled like this, in this picture. Okay. It bothers me. Bothers, it's like a noise, like drives me crazy. Okay. It bothers me when someone throws garbage on the ground. He throws the garbage on the ground while he is walking. He eats, and for example, the paper, he throw it on the ground. Okay. So all of them here are negative. So should it always be negative? No, it can be positive. How can it be positive? It makes me happy. What makes you happy, guys? When I get extra money at my work. So that's the situation. It here means what? The situation that makes you happy. When I get extra money, it makes me happy. So it could be negative, it could be something negative, and it could be something positive. It here is what is in the subjective position. So always it in the subjective position? No, it can be in the objective position. I can't stand it. Do you remember can't stand? Hate. It's the same meaning like hate. I can't stand it. When someone talks loudly in a meeting. So it here is in the subject position? No, it's in the object position. So it can be in the subject or could be in the object. It could be negative and it could be positive. I can't stand it when someone talks loudly in a meeting. That's the situation that makes you, that you hate. I hate it when food is served cold at a restaurant. When the food when the waiter serves you food and it's cold, for example, I don't like it. I love it when my friends remember my birthday. What's the situation that you love when my friends remember my birthday? Okay, let's practice more on this. Before we practice, don't forget to answer from page 4 to page 6, worksheet 3 on each win close. Let's practice more for this. Okay, it's book 3, guys, on our. It's book 3 in our books. You are gonna find it page. Let me just search for it and tell you which page you can find it in. Page 6. Yes, let's just. Page 6, guys. Okay. Okay. Clothes with it and with the adverbial clause when. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It means it's okay. I don't mind it when. I don't mind it when people talk loudly during a movie. I don't like it when a cell phone rings in the classroom. I can't stand it, hate it when a child screams in a restaurant. It bothers me, it annoys me when a teacher forgets my name. It upsets, bothers, annoys, the same meaning, guys, okay? When people arrive late for appointments, for example, okay? So now let's practice. How do you feel about these situations? Complete the sentences with it clauses from this list or from the list. Then take turns reading your sentences with another person. We are gonna do this when we are online, inshallah. So I love it. What do you love from this? I can't stand it. It makes me happy. It bothers me. It embarrasses me. What does mean embarrasses? Makes you red, turns you into makes you feel shy. Okay. It really upsets me. I don't like it. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind it. So you are going to try to choose the right word for the right situation here. Okay, that's your homework in it's in the CD, guys. Okay, it's in the CD. Yes, that's it only. I don't think there are a lot of more questions related to this. Okay, so that's the end of our lecture today. If you have any question, please ask, and please don't forget to do your homework and revise this lecture. Thank you for today, and have a nice day, all of you.